Hello and welcome back to my F1 PPR Tier 3 League Racing. If you have missed any of the previous episodes, go check them out in the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. But getting into today's race, after 9 rounds so far in the championships, we currently line up 4th place in the Drivers' Championship. 50 points, give or take, just less than 50 points off of the championship leader, which is Jim Wong at the moment. So Drivers' Championship doesn't look like it's on, but anything can still happen. Constructors' Championship, though, 30 points off, but there is still every chance Mark and a good teammate in him, both of us working well together, hopefully can bounce back from Portugal and maybe, just maybe, challenge for the Constructors' title. But let's have a look at our best lap around this British GP circuit. Through turn 1, flat out all the way down in towards turn 1 and turn 2 as well, braking just before the 50-meter board as we throw it into turn 3. Kiss that apex and then get the car over to the right, ready for the loop. Probably could have got the apex a bit more on the left-hand side, but it's not too bad as you can let the car hang out wide. We're currently down as we go to the end of the first sector now, only by about 0.04 of a second. Flicking it through the left. Somebody, unfortunately, has taken out the brake marker board, but we do manage to actually gain time on ourselves through Brooklands and then Luffield. Nice and tidy through there. Little snap of oversteer. We had to counter that, and that does lose us a little bit of time through that corner. But on the run down on the old start finish straight through turn 1, or the old school turn 1 of Copse Corner. Still very even with our previous lap time. Now throwing it through the left and then the right into Maggots and Beckett's now. Back through the left and then back through the right. Getting on the power nice and early, allowing the car to extend all the way out wide there and going purple through sector 2. Although I believe that is probably, unfortunately, a glitch. Whilst I would like to get my hopes up, I don't think that is real. Qualifying complete, so this is going to be our last attempt of a lap time. Letting the car drift out wide, but not too wide. You don't want to invalidate it. Then into the last couple of corners. Very tricky here. Easy to get on the power too early. Through the right now. Miss that apex on the right. Onto the power. All the way down to the start-finish line. The shortest line to the track, to the start-finish line there. 0.2 faster than our previous best, and that is enough to put us 8th in qualifying. So for myself, a good qualifying result. We've seen it on multiple occasions where I do qualify outside the top 10, have been needing an improvement in recent races, and it looks like maybe here we have done it. Only 0.4 off of the pole time as well, so that is a big improvement for us, because usually we're about 1 second-ish off of the best time. So it looks like an improvement through the rest of the field. Jim Wong on pole once again, going through the race strategy, looking to be starting on the softs, because obviously we did qualify in the top 10, and putting our fuel load down, because we are actually quite good on fuel load. We're quite good at saving fuel as the formation lap begins. Of course, starting P8 on the grid. Davey Lee, one of our championship contenders, currently in P7. We've got Weasel Albon, who's another championship contender. And of course, you've got Jim Wong leading the championship. 5 red lights, though, here in Britain. 3 rounds left to go with the championship. Is lights out. And we are underway. And it's a fairly decent start. Good start as well for Rickett on our left-hand side. We decided to back out into turn 1 because it's so easy for drivers to carry too much speed, as there goes my teammate Mark, and not a good start for him. We were hoping to come back in the Constructors, and he has gone down. But we get a little tag there from the Haas of Smowley. I feel like it was just me extending the corners, running a little bit too wide, and the Red Bulls have got off to an awful start here in Britain. Myself down in 19th, Markin down in 20th, and we move past Rickett as he makes a mistake, so up into P18 now. But we have got a lot of work to do in this race. Got Alex Budd ahead of us, and then Dirk Chocolate, who's only a couple of places ahead of us as well. Alex Budd going for a great move right around the outside of Pigeon, and he pulls it off. A fantastic move there from Alex Budd. We'll be looking to get past the Haas driver as soon as we possibly can. We're usually very cautious on opening laps. We only really go for overtakes when it's necessary to do so. But, you know, we've dropped down so many positions right now that we need to get a move on. We get past the Haas in towards Maggots and Beckett's there. And it's a good overtake, just mainly at the exit from Copse Corner. Now we've got the 2 McLarens squabbling with each other for the time being. Oh, very close there, as we maybe overreacted just a little bit. We kind of jumped with the reactions, and unfortunately that's going to lose me the position momentarily to the Haas driver or Pigeon. We're going to hold it on the inside though, and we should be able to hold the position, which we do. He's still slightly there, but he will give up on it. No, he'll actually will have a look up the inside, but now we've got the job done as we end the first lap of 26 here for the British Grand Prix. Yes, okay, we've lost a lot of positions. We're down in P17, but there is still a long way left to go in this race. And as you know, with these races, it's not over until it's over. Anything can happen. We're on the back of Dirk Chocolate now, going for a monster overtake in towards Copse Corner. You know, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen both say, or after that say that you can't overtake into Copse Corner. We show that you can, with a lovely move there on Dirk Chocolate up the inside. Very respectful from both of us, giving each other enough room, and a good move to move up into P16. Alex Budd is up next, who gets a massive snap of oversteer. I think that was midway through the corner, and that's going to be a lovely free position on Alex Budd there, moving up into P15 now in this race. We've got outer rim and some side effects, and TJD ahead of us right now as we head down in towards turn 3. Have a little look up the inside of the Alfa Romeo, a little bit of contact as we bounce over the curb. He leaves us just about enough room on the outside, but then closes the door as he gets the job done through the loop. But now we're going to follow all the way down the Wellington straight in towards Brooklands and Luffield. Got the inside now. If we can pull off this overtake, the 50-meter board is there at the moment, and we get the move done, although outer rim does come back at me. Has a little look around the outside of Luffield now, but we do get it on the power, and there we go, moving up into P14. TJD, he will be up next. We'll be looking to try and hopefully get a nice move on TJD, hopefully get past him cleanly, and make progress up through the field. Lap 4 out of 26. We're quite a bit back. We go for a lunge though, up the inside into Stowe, and we make contact with TJD. Both of us have gone round, and that is another disaster in this race. We qualified P8, and we're now back down to P17, spinning round TJD. Now, we were under investigation for that collision, but thankfully and luckily, because we also spun around as well, there was no penalty given because we were already penalised by having the spin and losing a lot of time. But we did get some penalty points. Luckily, though, the safety car has been deployed, which we really needed because that definitely saves our race. We can now come into the pits for a new set of medium or hard tyres and go all the way to the end of the race, as we just don't watch our delta a little bit there, nearly speeding, but no drive-through penalty for the time being, moving ourselves up into P16, as I think McNeish is the driver who has DNF'd there. And we are indeed going to come into the pits. I think most of the drivers in the field are going to come into the pits on this early stage of the race. It's a no-brainer if you're on those soft tyres. You can go to the mediums, free pit stop, and it's perfect for all of us soft medium runners. For the medium hards, it's a bit of a, stab in the back. It's not what they want. Because they're going to have to pit later on or pit now and go on to hard tyres, at which point they're going to be quite a bit off the pace. But the safety car still on at the moment here on lap 7 of the race. Got more drivers into the pit lane. These drivers didn't want to double stack, so Jim Wong into the pit lane as well. A very late pit stop, and I think that's because he got caught out. The safety car actually rejoined just ahead of him after he went past the pit lane. And we move up into P14. Our championship rival, the championship leader, is in P16 behind us. So this is a great chance. If we can have a good race now, get some points to maybe gain on the championship leader and get back in the Drivers' Championship, but also for the Constructors as well, as we are getting ready for the safety car restart. Very late safety car restart here, and we're actually going to get the jump on Rickert as we go down in towards turn 1. We're going to have to hold it around the outside, though. Rickert giving me enough room. I give him enough room on the apex as well. He's going to hold it on the right-hand side all the way down into turn 3, but he gets caught out by the Alfa Romeo. We're going to try and go around the outside of the Alfa Romeo, get the inside line into the next corner. You can see the heartbeat going crazy, 162 beats per minute, which is just continuously rising at the moment. But we do get the job done on Rickert. We move up into P12 for this British Grand Prix. 50-meter board is now gone, unfortunately. As you can see, we just break a little bit late there. Rickert goes up the inside but can't pull the move off. We're right behind Outer Rim, who we had a nice little battle with earlier on in the race. We'll be looking to continue that here on lap 10 now, as we are still behind Outer Rim. We've got my teammate Marken ahead of him, so we'll see what we can do with my teammate who's got a big red X above his name. Is that screen freeze? And yeah, it is, unfortunately, there for Marken. He gets a big screen freeze and he loses the position to us. We're still having a look, though, on Outer Rim, seeing what we can do on the Alfa Romeo driver. See if we can maybe go for an overtake here in towards the left-right of Club and Fair. We'll go for a big send up the inside. There's a little bit of contact there, and Jim Wong says thank you very, very much as unfortunately we've lost out the position there to one of our championship rivals. Now he's going on the attack of outer rim. A few desperate lunges from us and also there from Jim Wong, but great defense there from outer rim to hold it right around the outside in towards Brooklands. Inside now for Luffield, squeezes Jim Wong off the track, and that's going to allow me to go for the overtake, you know, doing an Alexander Albon. If you don't let me pass, I'll get past on the grass, and we go on the inside now, side by side through Cop's corner, and he doesn't really give me as much room as Dirk Chocolate, but he was still fair there. We hit the apex and we had enough room, so Jim Wong does get past us, but it's a big crash down in towards turn 3, and it's Jim Wong. Jim Wong has been caught up in that. We've overtaken him. He's dropped down into P12 even further. He's going to have damage as well. He's got penalties, and we have moved up into the top 10. This is great news for us, but there is still a long way left to go in this race. 13 laps. We're at the halfway stage now of the British Grand Prix. Got Sandy Baggy, outer rim, and I think that's driver DNB having their own little fight at the moment. Sandy Baggy on the hard tyres. Going to have a look up the inside in towards Club and Vale. Not as desperate this time around of a lunge. We hold it wheel to wheel with Sandy Baggy. A little bit of contact there as we go right around the outside of the last corner. But we get the better grip with being on those medium tyres, using a little bit of ERS as well. And that allows me to hold the position. Outer rim versus driver DNB ahead. Looks like outer rim has got the job done. And now we're closing on driver DNB, and he's gone for a lovely timely spin, so thank you very much for that. That's a free position moving back up into P8, sorry. So it's taken us 16 laps, but we finally got into the position that we started this race from. Outer rim is up next, and this time without the DRS he is going to struggle. We're going to go round the outside in towards Brooklands, hopefully trying to pick our braking point. I have to go a little bit early because we just don't know where that 50-meter board is. Holding it on the inside now of Luffield, wheel to wheel of outer rim. A great battle there with the Alfa Romeo, just keeping his nose in it. And I think that is going to be job done unless he can come back at me, which he can. Right around the outside through Cop's corner. Can we hold it wheel to wheel? We're going to take the apex, hug the corner, and he's still there. He's still holding on, but maybe, just maybe this time around, he's going to have to give up the position, but he might come back at me down the hanger straight. He's going to get the DRS unless we can have a really good Maggots and Beckett's. Outer rim, of course, on those soft tyres, and this is not good for our race. We actually really struggled at this stage of the race because outer rim, look at him, just come straight back at me on those soft tyres, and whilst we are battling, that is allowing Sandy Baggy to come back at us. Now, Sandy Baggy is not a threat at the moment. He's on those hard tyres, but by the end of the race, those hards are going to be a lot better than our mediums. So if we keep battling, allowing him to catch up, inevitably, he is going to overtake me at the end of the race. So we need to be smart here. We go for the overtake again on outer rim, trying to just get the job done. We have this nice little switcheroo, and now we get the job done. He's not fighting me too much, but he's going to come back at me now in towards the Wellington Straights. This is not what we need. We've got the gap, 1.1 seconds to Sandy Baggy, but if we keep fighting with the Alfa Romeo, he's just going to jump us, and we just sort of back off a little bit, try and switch it behind him, and just try and hold the position with him. Because we really only have two choices at the moment. Either we hold it behind him through the corners and not fight, because that's going to lose us time to drivers ahead and behind, or we, you know, fight through the corners and lose the time and try and get this position. I'm not too worried about this particular position right now. There's still 6 laps left to go, so we get the jump there on outer rim again. Go right around the outside in towards Stowe, get the job done. But now, this is the lap we got to go for it. We really tried to burn our battery to try and get away from him, but because he's on those grippier, softer tyres, it just manages to hold on. As F-Sane goes for a spin, that puts us up in a P5 in this race with 3 laps left to go, and a safety car has been deployed. The safety car has been deployed in this race with only 3 laps left to go. We're not going to have long behind this safety car as drivers are coming into the pit lane. Now, we have to make a choice here. Do we pit as well? Dark is into the pits. Albon is into the pits. We were shouting at our engineer to give us a choice, and literally at the last moment, he's like, don't box. So we decide not to. Outer rim does decide to come into the pits. Sandy Baggy, on those hard tyres, has pulled off a worldy strategy, and we are into P3. But if you look at the penalties, with 2 laps left to go, Davy Lee has a 3-second time penalty. Smowley has a 6-second time penalty. There is the potential of a race win on the cards today. We just have to stay within 3 seconds of Davy Lee behind on these last 2 laps. He makes the jump on the safety car restart absolutely perfectly. He caught both myself and Smowley unaware. Smowley, he doesn't have to worry about too much, but me, you know, he needs to get that gap. He's already got 1.5 seconds just from the safety car restart. So we have got 2 laps to try and hold on to. It's 1.8 at the moment with few corners left to go. We're into Club Vale section. It's 2 seconds right now. We got to make sure we don't mess up. Driver DMB stopped on the corner. That kind of puts us off just a little bit. It's 1.5, 1.4. We run wide just a little bit as we come across the line. It is the race win. Our first race win in our F1 League Racing Series. The heart rate is through the roof as we are elated with this result. It is a race win for the first time in PPR. 25 points, which is going to move us up into P3 in the championship and now second in the constructors, only 15 points away. But thank you very much everyone for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye from me.